The notoriously secret Mars family was the richest family in America until the 1990s, when they were surpassed by the Koch brothers and the Waltons. The Mars family is now the third most richest family in America. Combined, they have a net worth of over $126 billion in assets for their company, Mars, Inc. Mars, Inc. is an American manufacturing company that makes confections, beverages, and pet food. Confections are edible items that are rich in sugar, carbohydrates, and artificial flavors. Confections are basically poison and arguably one of the worst things human beings can consume, despite how addicting they are. Franklin Clarence Mars founded the Mars Candy Company in 1911, coincidentally the same year trick-or-treating was practiced in the United States. The Mars family are descendants of the noble house of Candia of Venice, which ruled the kingdom of Candia located on the island of Crete during the height of the Venetian Republic. The House of Candia took on other names throughout the centuries, such as Candy. The Venetians were known for their involvement in sugar ownership and trades. The House of Candia was a noble family under the rule of the House of Savoy. They owned a castle which was called Château de Candy. Kydonia was the state in which the House of Candia ruled, and Kydonia is the name of the region on Mars which is home to the face of Mars. It is important to point out that the face of Mars has been highly criticized by people who do not believe in space or a spherical Earth, and those who believe that NASA is fake. But Kydonia has frequently appeared in pop culture over the decades. Is it a coincidence that the descendants of the House of Candia went on to create a candy bar company and their surname was Mars? In ancient Roman religion, Mars is the god of war, and the month of March was named after Mars. In astrology, Tuesday is associated with the planet Mars. Tuesday is the official day the United States holds presidential elections, and Tuesday is the official day video games are released. Both elections and modern-day video games can be described as warlike. This is no coincidence. The god of war holds the sphere, and you can see this is depicted in the symbol of Mars as the shield and spear. It is also the symbol of the male gender. The astrological symbol for Tuesday shares the same symbol. Latin adjectives from the name Mars are Martius, which derives the English martial as in martial arts, and martial law. In Roman mythology, Mars is the equivalent to the Greek god Eris. In astrology, Mars rules over Aries. The Aries zodiac lasts from March 20th to April 20th. Mars is the red planet that symbolizes fire, war, and destruction. Aries is a fire sign and the first sign of the zodiac. The surname Mars derives from the French word mar, meaning ram. In astrology, the Aries symbol is the ram. Do you think it is a coincidence that some of the world's biggest false flags and terrorist attacks happened during Aries? Here are a few examples. The Waco Massacre, April 19, 1993. The Oklahoma City bombing, April 19, 1995. Columbine, April 20, 1999. The Virginia Tech shooting, April 16, 2007. And the Boston bombing, April 15, 2013. Is it a coincidence that the Holocaust officially started on March 22nd, the same day the first concentration camp opened? March 22nd is the second day of the Aries zodiac and is also the famous number of the Yale University Skull and Bones Society. Skull and Bones is a military death cult full of Aryan Nazis. Notable members are George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, John Kerry, and Steve Mnuchin, to name a few. In ancient time, the Aryans were considered to be a solar race, and their most sacred sign was the swastika. The Age of Aries was when the Egyptian civilization thrived and Babylon peaked as a major power. The Hindus had mastered Vedic astrology, and Jewish mystic teachings were tradition. According to Robert Seffer, the new year actually starts on March 20th, the spring equinox, when the sun banishes the winter chill. The kingdom of the House of Candia was the official name of Crete. The imperial cult of Rome was the first secret society and the true power behind the Roman Empire in the Age of Aries. This cult was so top secret and highly classified that even the Roman Senate, government officials, and the general public were completely in the dark about who was actually in charge. The cult claimed divine authority to rule through descendants from the lineage of man, birthed by Minos the Crete, the founder of the Roman Empire. Minos was raised by King Asterion, which translates to ruler of the stars. According to Greek mythology, Minos spawned the master race, which was popularized by Aryan Nazi Germany. Military Auxiliary Radio System, MARS, is a United States Department of Defense company which sponsored a program called Operation Gotham Shield, a 2017 exercise conducted by FEMA, which tested civilian responses to nuclear weapon attacks. Conspiracy theorists considered it a false flag, and in reality was an engineered EMP attack on New York civilians. It was also held in April during the Aries season. Is it a coincidence that the first Rothschild bank was called Mayer Amschel Rothschild and Sons, which is the acronym for MARS? The Rothschilds started their financial conquest by supplying personal coins to the German nobility families where Nazism originated. The German House of Wittelsbach ruled over Munich, where Hitler would live and rule during the Second World War. Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, the last day of the Aries zodiac. Here are some images of the Mars Company promoting war. Sugar was considered a luxury in Europe in the 1600s, and it was popularized by Catherine of Braganza after she infused it with her tea. Catherine would have tea parties on Tuesday, dubbing it Tea Tuesday, where she had Hindu servants mixing her sugar and tea for guests. The Portuguese House of Braganza is one of the wealthiest families in the world today, and they are famous for putting tea and sugar on the map. There are two kinds of sugar, cane sugar and beet sugar. Cane sugar is white and beet sugar is brown. The process of producing beet sugar was invented by the Germans in the late 1700s. A more poisonous form of beet sugar was invented in 1957 by Richard Marshall, and he called it high fructose corn syrup. This became an attractive and cheap substitute for American candy and beverage companies, especially for Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Mars Inc. High fructose corn syrup was rapidly introduced to many processed foods in America between 1975 and 1985, and they remain. In recent years, it has been hypothesized that the rise of high fructose corn syrup is the cause for obesity, diabetes, and cancer. I just want to point out that Richard Marshall has the word Mars in his last name. In 2013, Queen Elizabeth visited the Mars Inc. headquarters. The current chairman of Mars Inc. is John Franklin Mars and is the 33rd richest person in America. He attended Yale University and was knighted by Queen Elizabeth in 2015. Most of the American Mars family attended Yale and the Jesuit Wharton School of Business. The Mars family is extremely secretive. Mars Inc. created the Mars Bar, Milky Way, Snickers, Skittles, M&Ms, Twix, Lifesavers, Combos, Uncle Ben's Rice, and Orbit Gum, to name a few. All of these products contain artificial dyes, coloring, and high fructose corn syrup. We know that Mars is the red planet, and Mars is the ruler of Aries. The color red is the symbol of fire, anger, passion, and courage. What you may not know is its connections to Kabbalism. Kabbalism is a secret society that practices religious brainwashing, numerology, and mysticism. The Jewish Rothschild family are top managers of the Kabbalah Society, along with the Black Nobility House of Massimo. The Massimo coat of arms has 2 lions on it, and the Kabbalah centers worldwide often use the Lion of Leon of Spain for its logo. The Massimo family intermarried with the Spanish House of Bourbon, who are the Kings of Leon. Kabbalists wear the red bracelet on their left hand to ward off the evil eye. The red bracelet represents the red Gevara. The Gevara is called the Great Fire of God from God's left hand. The red string is worn on the left hand. On the Kabbalah tree of life, the 5th god is severity, otherwise known as Gevara. According to Kabbalists, the 5th god of severity is associated with Mars, and it makes sense because Mars is the red planet. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump are high-level Shabbat Kabbalists. This philosophy is drawn from classical Jewish mysticism. When Jared and Ivanka served as senior advisors to President Donald Trump, they pushed pro-Israel peace deals that completely ignored the horrors of the Palestinian regime. Jared Kushner's father was Charles Kushner, and he was good friends with Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu. Donald Trump also pardoned Charles Kushner at the end of his presidency. Other celebrities who practice Kabbalah are Israeli-American Natalie Portman, pictured here with Ariana Rothschild, Ariana Grande, Madonna, Demi Moore, Ashton Kutcher, Leonardo DiCaprio, Angelina Jolie, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Mila Kunis. Here is Ashton Kutcher with Yehuda Berg, the co-director of the Kabbalah Center in Los Angeles that was funded by his father, Philip Berg. Yehuda Berg was charged and fined for molesting and drugging a follower of the center. Kutcher claims to be against human sex trafficking, but he is an agent of the McCain Institute, and in 2001, his girlfriend, Ashley Ellerin, was found murdered in her apartment. There were rumors that she found child porn in Kutcher's possession, and he killed her out of pure rage. Another man by the name of Michael Gargillo was found guilty even though Kutcher was there the night of the murder. Marcus Weston, international speaker, is known for teaching Kabbalah to Goldman Sachs employees among other Illuminati companies like Citibank, the United Nations, and other world banks. He preaches that all true Kabbalists worship Mars. The name Marcus derives from the god of Mars. Bruno Mars is an Ashkenazi Jew. The Mars family, with the celestial surname, has ties to Jewish mysticism, the Black, British, and German Nazi nobility, and are responsible for pushing poor lifestyle choices, sugar addictions, and genetically modified confections on the masses. It is important to remember the ages through time, and it is important to understand that each age brings something unique and different to the table. The age of Aries was when the Egyptians ruled with ancient wisdom, astrology, and mystery schools. The age of Pisces marked the birth of Jesus Christ and represented Christianity. We are currently living through the transition into the age of Aquarius, where we are seeing paradigms change and shift. According to many Gnostic and astrology books, the age of Aquarius officially kicked off in 1962 and was kicked off in 1969 with Woodstock, which was called an Aquarius exposition. According to Alice Bailey, Jupiter, the esoteric ruler of Aquarius, is love and wisdom, and when Pluto enters into Aquarius in 2025, the age transition will officially be complete. There are predictions about the age of Aquarius that describe it as a time when humanity takes control of the earth as its own rightful heritage, the expansion of consciousness, revelations of truth, and experience mental breakdowns, or otherwise known as spiritual awakenings. It is important to remember that Mars in Aquarius can lead to either great accomplishments or utter destruction. I will leave you with that to do your own critical thinking. Until then, stay safe out there and don't stop questioning the world around you.